Hey guys, it's Tara. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a book review of Lipgloss by Gammalliere. So this is going to be a spoiler-free review, so no worries there if you haven't read the book. And I'll just start off by, I really want to show you the cover of this book because I feel like it's really interesting and So here's the book. It's very glossy. It's like a high gloss finish and it's so pretty. I just think it's like the simplicity of it is stunning in and of itself, and it really plays with the themes within this book as well. So I have so much to say about this book. First of all, I just want to tell you how I found this book. So this is an indie published book, and it is definitely not the type of book that I ever usually seek out or look for or read at all, to be honest with you. I would call it YA contemporary, and definitely with some like mental health, psychological type of twists on it. Almost kind of like a slice of life piece, if that makes sense. So I found this book because I actually saw the author on Instagram, and it was this, you know, kind of rugged looking guy with like a beard, and he was holding this book, and in his profile picture, he was holding this book, and it was just all black, like a black glossy cover, and it just says the word lip gloss on it. And I was just so intrigued by it. I was like, that's interesting. I wonder what that's about. So I went and looked it up and bought it, and here I am today with a review. So anyway, we'll just hop right into it from here. So Lipgloss is about it follows the life of a 17-year-old girl who lives in London. It is a lot about her life and the people in her life and how they affect her. She has a mom who's an alcoholic. She has a boyfriend named James who she's in a very toxic relationship with. Best friend named Nancy, who she has some kind of struggles with, but also has like a really good, solid found family type of friendship with. So I would say one of the main draws of this book is it's a very, very deep, immersive first person. You are 100% inside this main character's head. You are thinking her thoughts with her, and it is just mind-blowing to me how flawlessly and seamlessly Gammalliere was able to get into the head of a 17-year-old girl like this. Like, I was a 17-year-old girl, okay? I was one of those at one point, and I cannot imagine doing it anywhere near as well as he did. And it's really almost eerie. It's like the things that she thinks about herself and her body and her friends, and the mental process behind her getting into this toxic relationship, and the way that, you know, that those type of people manipulate you and gaslight you, and just that entire process, watching it unfold, but then being so inside of her head while it happens is just, it's an experience that I feel like until you've had it, or unless you've lived it yourself in real life, it's really easy to say, oh, I would never do that. Oh, I would never fall for that. Oh, I would see that coming 100 miles away. Until it's happened to you, it's so difficult to understand it. And I feel like this book is absolutely amazing because it shows you how that process happens without you having experienced it in real life. And it's just really, really well written, and I was extremely impressed with it the entire way through. Another thing that I want to point out that just is still mind-boggling to me is that I probably got a good halfway, maybe even 2/3 of the way through this book without even realizing that Gammalliere chose to leave the main character unnamed. I didn't even notice she didn't have a name, okay? That's how well he did this. He did it so seamlessly that I didn't even feel like anything was missing. I didn't feel like you know, there were like awkward places where her name should have gone or where other characters should have called her by her name. Like I did not even notice it. And it really does allow you to kind of mold yourself into the character, but in that way that's a positive, instead of just, oh, I made my character so blank and bland that you can put yourself into the role. Twilight. So I just can't stress enough how wonderful and artful the writing of this book was. I was extremely impressed, especially it being a type of subject matter that I would never normally read, and honestly probably won't again. I'm just not really into the contemporary slice of life type of books. I really do just love fantasy. So for me to have loved this book as much as I do really shows me how good it really was. And I think definitely if you're the type of person who likes contemporary YA, you'll really love this book. So I will say as a kind of a trigger warning, there definitely is themes of like toxic relationships and abuse, and as well as like alcoholism, alcoholic parent. So if those things are triggering for you, then this might not be the book for you. So I was trying to think of any cons I had for this book. And honestly, I really struggled to find any. I mean, it's set in modern day. The characters are all really interesting and well developed. The themes are great. The writing is fantastic. The only thing that I would have is really just a very personal preference con, and it's just that, like I said, I usually don't read contemporary slice of life type of books, so I don't really love the, I don't know, I read for escapism, if we're being honest. I read for escapism. So to put myself so thoroughly into a position that I have definitely been in myself in my life like this was a little bit difficult for me, but it also is really eye-opening, and it shows you so well like how that mental process happens. And I just think that's so important. I think it's so important to realize how that happens so that we can have sympathy for other people who've gone through this, so that we can be, you know, stop saying things like, oh, it would never happen to me, or she should have seen it coming, or whatever other terrible language we use to talk about people who end up in toxic and abusive relationships, because it can happen to anyone. And I don't care who you are or what you think, but you don't know what that's like and what the mental process is like to get there until you've experienced it yourself. And I think this book is a really good way to experience it for yourself and to kind of be able to understand that better, even if you haven't experienced it. Anyway, I'll stop harping on that now. So the ending of the book, the ending was mind-blowing. The ending was very thought-provoking. It was profound. It left you with this kind of unanswered question that made you really have to pause and think. And it just overall was a very thought-provoking way to wrap up the book. Like, I feel like it was just so deep and profound, and I just really liked it a lot. So I give this book 5 out of 5 stars. I feel like it's almost apples to oranges trying to compare this to any of the other books that I normally read, just because they're such completely different things. But if I'm just looking at this book in and of itself, how much I enjoyed it, how great the writing is, I definitely think it deserves all 5 of those stars. So yeah, that concludes my review of Lipgloss. If you guys are interested, please go check it out. I love supporting indie authors, and you know, I'm a writer myself, and I hope to be published myself one day, and it's so important to support each other, and especially if you like YA contemporary slice of life type of books, I think you'll really, really enjoy this one. So yeah, go give them some love, go buy the book. I'll leave the link in the description box down below. Thank you guys for joining me today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Tara. I do book reviews and other bookish content, as well as writing updates every once in a while. And yeah, hit that subscribe button if you're new, hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I upload new videos. I post on Mondays. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.